Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is Montana This Morning from Montana's news leader.
Well, good morning. Thanks for kicking off your day with us here. I'm Justine Stewart.
And I'm Lewis Stewart. Hopefully having a good start to your Tuesday so far. And yeah, I know it's been cool. It's kind of dreary. And I was saying before, like it seems like a lot of times people wouldn't be too happy about this weather, especially in September. This year, though, no complaints at all. The rain and snow was kind of steady at times yesterday.
Yeah.
We keep that right in the forecast.
One extreme to the next.
Yes, exactly. In the forecast again for today with rain showers and snow showers again as we roll into the afternoon time. We'll be looking at scattered showers and light scattered activity again. For today, maybe a little bit of drizzle at times, and then as we move into tomorrow, another system looks to move in, bringing heavier amounts of rain, snow, and some gusty winds during the afternoon. And then for the weekend, looks like it's going to be a nice fall-like weekend with temperatures remaining in the 50s. Now, as far as your Tuesday forecast goes, we'll go with 51 in Missoula, 53 in Kalispell, 51 Hamilton, 54 in Polson, with those rain showers and even some high elevation snow showers sticking around, becoming more widespread in the afternoon.
Authorities now saying the hacker behind the cyber terror attack against schools in the Flathead is demanding a ransom to be paid. This comes as students from districts across the valley will be heading back to their classrooms this morning. Flathead County Sheriff Chuck Curry decided to release this ransom letter in order to help parents understand the scope of that threat and the progress of the ongoing investigation, which began when the suspect hacked into the Columbia Falls School District computers last week. Curry hopes by releasing the letter it will show people the threats were not real and were simply just a tactic by the cyber extortionists to facilitate their demand for money. He also says the group is already known for making other threats across the country and aren't located in the U.S. Sheriff Curry says in the release, quote, "We fully understand the concern and fear that has resulted from this cyber attack, and we want the community to know that all the Valley law enforcement agencies and the heads feel there is no threat to the physical safety of our children. We will continue to work around the clock to bring those responsible to justice, and we remain fully committed to this investigation, even though we now know the physical threat to our children does not exist." Also, parents, students, and community members had the chance to hear from law enforcement and school officials about the recent cyber threats that have shut down classes and school activities across the Flathead Valley. As MTN's Jack Ginsburg reports, even though there might not be a physical threat, parents are still concerned about their children's safety.
Today, teachers and school officials met with law enforcement for 2 hours prior to a public meeting to discuss how the threats were started, when they started, and what the schools have done to bring safety back to the community. Students will go back to school tomorrow, but many parents had questions about whether the schools were physically safe to come back to.
Has the school been thoroughly checked over from top to bottom, upper curtains, every place else? Yeah. That's all I'm concerned about. I could care less if they hack into my computer.
Columbia Falls Superintendent Steve Bradshaw says every school has been checked, but knows that schools are vulnerable every single day.
So, can I assure you 100% your kids are going to come to school tomorrow and be safe? I can't do that.
However, according to the Columbia Falls Police Chief, Clint Peters, law enforcement believes the attacks are strictly cyber and do not pose a physical threat.
The threat of them coming in and hurting our children is off the table, and that's the point of this meeting, is that it's not there.
Peters often refers to the attacks being done as a group and says they do not think they are living in the nearby area.
The extent of their knowledge of the internet would put them in an extremely small percentage within the state and probably even in this country.
Columbia Falls students and many others across the Flathead Valley will return to classes at normal hours tomorrow with police on campus. In Columbia Falls, Jack Ginsburg, MTN News.
Kalispell Public School Superintendent says there will be still law enforcement present on school campuses today as a safety precaution. He says staff have prepared age-appropriate discussion materials that will be used at all buildings. And if you still feel uncomfortable in sending your children to school, you can contact your child's school to excuse the absence. One Dillon area school was evacuated and others were put on lockdown because of guns found in a pair of students' backpacks. Beaverhead County High School in Dillon was evacuated and the elementary and middle schools locked down around 11 a.m. Monday. Dillon's chief of police says a student reported that 2 other students had them and the guns on them, deeming the incident as a credible threat. School officials did evacuate the high school. A pair of revolvers were found in the students' backpacks after that search. No one was hurt in the incident, but 2 juvenile students were detained and could face possible charges. All sports practices, games, after-school programs, and other school activities had to be canceled for the day. The University of Montana started a 5-day celebration to recognize American Indian heritage, a gathering that comes as tribes are still getting to know the ins and outs of the Trump administration. MTN's Kent Lutzen has the story.
I'm also deeply humbled because of the great responsibility the position holds to be the steward of our majestic lands, the champion of our great Indian nations, and the manager and voice of our diverse wildlife.
Whitefish native Ryan Zinke became the first Montanan to hold a presidential cabinet position in March when he was sworn in as President Donald Trump's Secretary of the Department of Interior. More than 200 days into the job, the relationship between some Native Americans and the new administration is not quite yet defined.
Really, kind of the overall trust responsibility and how the administration will engage with tribes still is really yet to be determined because we haven't seen much from the administration yet.
Mills says the major concerns are the federal trust responsibilities, engagement with tribes across the country, social justice concerns, and natural resource issues. Mills added the transfer of management of the National Bison Range to Bureau of Indian Affairs and the protection of Badger 2 medicine for the Blackfeet tribe are just 2 important issues for local tribes.
Up front, I am an unapologetic admirer of Teddy Roosevelt and believe he had it right when he placed under federal protection millions of our acres of federal lands and set aside much of it as our national forest.
In a draft report from Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke, he recommends changes to nearly a dozen national monuments, including decreasing the Bears Ears Monument in Utah. However, Zinke also suggests adding 3 new national monuments, one being Badger 2 Medicine in East Glacier. These decisions are leaving some Native Americans concerned on where his stance lies.
I think Zinke's been flip-flop. And so I really don't feel like he's trying to protect as he's opening up more and more public lands or changing or basically taking away from monuments that were protected.
Mills said the Obama administration made significant efforts to engage tribes, including the annual tribal leader conferences, adding it's a waiting game to see how the new administration plans to engage with the Indian nations. In Missoula, Kent Lutzen, MTN News.
Today, the University of Montana will be hosting a traditional regalia show at the Native American Center on campus. Well, for the second time in less than a week, western Montana fires are getting doused with heavy rain, with the latest round of storms expected to formally end Montana's volatile 2017 fire season. At the Rice Ridge Fire in Seeley Lake, fire camp was getting pounded with heavy rain as crews moved to protect equipment and supplies on the fire lines. Crews recovering hoses and sprinklers before freezing weather moves in. The good news is the cooler and wetter conditions of the past week have been a godsend for the weary fire crews. Not only is the fire hazard easing, but even at the Rice Ridge Fire, firefighters are claiming over 60% containment of that 160,000-acre fire. At Lolo Peak, the containment perimeter is closer to 70% now. And with the latest on the forecast, let's send it on over to Lewis this morning.
All right, thank you, Justine. Good morning, everyone. And how about this? First picture sent in to us yesterday. This is down near Corvallis. Beautiful sunset there. No smoke. That rain helped get the smoke out yesterday. We're waking up this morning with good air quality, mostly all across the state of Montana, which is just so fantastic to see. So thank you so much for this beautiful picture here. We're going to get a lot more of those scenes, a lot more like that, as we're rolling through the next couple days. As we take a look at our radar this morning, we have this little band of rain showers and snow showers moving through Missoula now. I just stepped outside just before I came on here, and it are getting some light rain showers here at the station, getting some snow showers here in the higher elevations, and moving in just a little bit closer, Lolo, with the Lolo Peak fire about here. It's nice to see that rain and snow still right over top. Now, this morning, this will be more scattered, become more widespread during the afternoon time. Now, we had a nice steady rain yesterday. Today, we're going to keep those rain showers and snow showers on the lighter side with a heavier system moving in tomorrow. So I want to show you that here. This is one of the model runs that we have. We're going to stop it this afternoon, or excuse me, this evening. What time? Around 8:30 this evening. You can see very light amounts of showers here with heavier amounts along the Idaho and Montana border and here in central Idaho for today. Now, as the system moves through tomorrow, look as the heavier amounts are going to be located here along the Idaho-Montana border in Idaho, and then southwestern Montana with lesser amounts the further north you go. So again, don't take so much account of what the numbers say. Just what I wanted to show you here is that heavier amounts here in southwestern Montana, lighter amounts the further north you go for tomorrow. However, everyone still is going to see good amounts of rain and even snow for today. Here's the jet stream. So here's the system that we have right now. Watch as that moves out. Tomorrow and Thursday, another system moves in, bringing in those cool rain showers and snow showers. We're going to keep cool temperatures in the forecast for Monday. The rain moves out, and then it looks like as we roll into the middle of next week, a little bit of ridge forms. So instead of temperatures feeling like the end of October and November, it's going to feel more like September, it looks like, by the middle part of next week, with temperatures back up into the lower and middle 60s. Here's your 7-day forecast for Hamilton. 51 today, 49 tomorrow, 50 on Thursday. We'll see 49 on Friday, and then very nice fall-like weekend with temperatures remaining in the 50s.
All right, at least it looks like it's going to clear up for a nice weekend ahead.
It should be another really nice weekend. It was a nice weekend, this one. Should be nice again.
All right, sounds good. And stick around. We're back with more, of course, but here are some birthdays for you this morning.